Hello everyone and welcome to our channel. Today we have the full review of Parrot's newest drone, the Anafi. If you already watched that video, I actually attended the product launch event of Parrot Anafi, and two of their engineers, I think one of them is the project lead, is explaining how this thing works and what it does. So if you still didn't watch that, go ahead and watch it. And if you don't want to miss anything that interesting that is happening in this channel, don't forget to subscribe. For the last 2 weeks, I spent a lot of time with drones. I have the Parrot Anafi here, I have Mavic Air with me, and there will be a DJI Phantom coming soon where I will compare the footage with, it will not be a fair comparison, but still with Parrot's Anafi. My experience with Anafi has been very pleasant so far. It has some advantages over existing competition, but before talking about the competition, let's go ahead and talk about how beautiful this thing is. Apparently they got inspired by insects because, they are flying small things. What a surprise. So the body is actually like an insect's body, and these are like the legs, these are the eyes, and we have the camera here. I took the lens cover out, but it's a beautiful camera as well, and it has two axis electric, one axis motorized gimbal capacity, which is pretty cool. Let me go ahead and talk about Anafi and my experience. Please don't forget that I am a rather amateur guy, so like an average Joe who's playing with drones for an extended period of time. Even though I have some history, I think I'm closer to the daily user than a pro. With that being said, let me remind you that all the footage we took is actually shot with the auto mode. Well, to test a couple of things, I may have gone out of auto mode, but most of the time, majority of the time, it was in auto mode. Apart from that, I would notice it otherwise, but I can't recall if we did or not. So, what makes this thing so cool? 4K, 30 frames per second with HDR. That is the coolest thing about this drone. And the second coolest thing is how silent it is. Compared to Mavic Air, that's at least what I had in my mind and what I had available, and also I can tell that Mavic Air is relatively less noisy compared to others. This thing is closer to DJI's Tello than Mavic Air sound levels. It's really impressive. It's still loud, don't get me wrong, it will wake anyone up around, but there is this unbearable limit, and it's below that, and Mavic Air is above that. That's why it is actually rather noisy drone. And how I know this is rather funny. When I test flew it at home, I got crazy reactions from the family. This thing, I don't know if it's a good idea to, well, it's not on, so I think yes. You see, it goes up 100 degrees vertical. So in the launch event, they showed a video where they passed under a bridge, and it looked pretty cool. And I think online there are some of the other videos they do that, and that vertical tilt is pretty amazing. And another amazing thing is the zoom. So the zoom gives us this dolly effect, this vertigo effect, when you zoom in and out at the same time. So the machine moves, the zoom moves, it gives us an amazing contrast between the scenes, or whatever you want to use that footage, but it's just fantastic. I wasn't great, I can blind it, but I've seen some other people doing it, and it is really cool. All right, so we talked about the zoom, we talked about the HDR, we talked about 4K, and let's talk about the flight time. Yes, it gives more flight time than Mavic Air, Spark, this and that, but it's still 25-minute mark. So if you end up buying a second battery, it's another $100. Keep that in mind, but it's a valid concern for any other thing as well. 20-25 minutes were rather enough for me, but if I go out for a day of shooting, I think it is a good idea to have a spare battery. So yeah, the photos are fantastic. 21 megapixels is of course a better thing, and I think the software is also there, so that's why the photos look good. But interestingly, maybe it's because I have the demo software. On the photo mode, there was no HDR option to turn it on and off, but now again, it's still the pre-release unit, so maybe when they release it, it will look better. This is the case, by the way. Now I realize I did not take the remote with me, but there are other videos where I show the remote. Please feel free to check, for example, the hardware comparison with Mavic Air, where you can see I weighed them, I talk a lot about them, and I get some negative comments about it, but still, for some people it matters, and it matters for me too. That's why it's in the video. Let's talk about what else is available here. Yes, we talked about it. Yes, this is marketing. Yes, the tilting gimbal is crazy good. I really like the idea. Yes, 3-axis image stabilization with 2 being electrical, 1 being mechanical, which I think renders this thing a bit more durable than Mavic Air, but it's not something that I tested because I hit both of the drones to places and they both survived. The good thing is this guy comes with 8 extra propellers, and I think you can see here that, you see, these 2 are separate. So if you break one, you don't need to go ahead and replace both. You can just replace one and you will be good to go, but just make sure that, you know, it's aligned the right way. Charging thing is pretty cool. That's how you take it out. There was also a 16 gigabyte what was it, SD card included in the package, which actually helps because when you get a drone, you are like rather anxious to start. Here is the card as well. It's from SanDisk. Oh, did you just see my key card or keys? Anyways, so this is it. This uses USB-C, so it's easy to charge it, and there is also charge indicator. Mine is fully charged, I know now, but I like the idea that Anafi did not go with a proprietary cable like Mavic does, and it's just the USB-C that usually those who are interested in photography or who owns a GoPro basically has one. So I saw this, I think I'll put those links down below. I saw this video they shot in a museum in Paris, and that looks pretty cool, like the footage they mentioned. Of course, if a pro uses this, they use it another way and they have amazing editing capacities. But even for me, what I shot looked good, but you would be the judge of that. The wind resistance. What can I say? It was not very windy when I tested both of these drones, but I can tell that it is solid, so you shouldn't worry about the weight. But there was some discussion going on in the comment section of my previous videos. Is heavier better or not? I mean, lighter is better for me because I carry it, but the overall weight does not differ that much, so heavier or lighter doesn't make a big difference in this case. This guy is stable, and honestly, if there are 50 kilometers per hour, which is like 30 miles per hour wind outside, I don't go and drone. But if you do, I assume you have better drones anyways, like professional grade drones, Inspires, this and that. But I don't know you, but in a regular case, 50 kilometers per hour is crazy winds. That's why if this thing can hold up for that, I'm good to go. By the way, Parrot gave me this unit, so I really am thankful. That's why maybe it's another reason for you to take whatever I say with a grain of salt. But I remain as objective as possible in my videos whenever, even if they're sponsored. I did not get paid for this, so it's not a sponsored video. But even in those cases, I just refuse if I don't like the product and even return people's stuff. But so far, let's knock on wood that everything or every product that I invested my time and energy in paid out to be a great one, like Parrot Anafi. Something that is a bit of a bugging thing is that the follow me mode is another $20 add-on on the app. Don't just start hate mailing these guys. Compared to Mavic Air, I would say, or the DJI's app, Parrot's app is beautiful. It's very lean. Takes some getting used to, but everything is there. Like, it's very intuitive, so kudos to the app team. They did a good job. It's very lean, and what you see is a lot more width. Of course, Mavic Air has more obstacle avoidance, this and that. That's why there are many dots here and there, but I like the simplicity, and I think the app provides that. And there's slow motion and hyperlapse modes. There's cameraman, and there's follow me mode, which is actually a paid mode. What comes out of the box is just the cable, carrying case, the drone's body itself, controller, 8 propellers, mounting tool, and the USB. SD card. Let's see the technical specifications a bit. Apparently the sensor is 2.4-inch CMOS sensor, which is pretty good, and the thing itself is 320 grams. If you are interested in weight measurements, this and that, just go ahead and check my hardware comparison video. You will see that I weighted a lot of stuff there. Obstacle avoidance is a double-edged sword. It's good to have it, but with Mavic, I hated it because it's always beeping. Oh my goodness, like alerts everywhere. Maybe it's possible to configure them to turn off, but by default, it's so off-putting if I need to put it as nice as possible. Whereas on Anafi, there is no obstacle avoidance, but hey, I see things. And even in Mavic Air, you have the front and the back, so on the sides, you're still not that covered. Well, on the sides, you're still, you know, vulnerable. Apparently, it's not something that DJI wants to say, but that's what it is. So that's why front and back is nice, but I'm watching my drone anyways, and I'm not as much of a daring guy who goes and tests the limit of a drone. For me, as it is, it's perfect, and I would like to keep an eyesight. And I think the safety regulations of the country is also agreeing with me that we should keep things rather simple if we are, you know, recreational drone users. So, because I live in New York City, there are really limited options to fly a drone. I think soon I will go out of state for a while. There I'll be able to drone, but I mean, wouldn't it be cool to drone around, especially where I live? If you've watched my other videos, you see where I live, and it's fantastic. I think this will be all for Anafi. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for being with us. This means a lot to us. I say us because we're actually a couple of friends doing this, but you keep seeing my face because apparently I'm more fluent than them, but they are cool guys too. So please stick with us. We will be toying around. All right. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you next time, and I assume you already subscribed. Thank you.